I'm live. Holy crap. Okay. I've never tried the go live feature here on YouTube, so I gotta focus on the camera. Uh. That's the problem with having an instant display. I can't look away from myself. um, I've never tried the YouTube go live, so I thought I'd try it out here. And as always, mm, we love coffee. Yes, we do. Um, I don't know why I'm going to put it down. It's not. It's not. It's not like I'm actually going to stop drinking coffee. Anyways, okay, getting onto it. Fine, getting onto it. A lot of people have been. Well, I say a lot of people. A few people have noticed me using the name MoronArtist here on my YouTube channel, which is fairly new. Has not garnered a lot of attention. So the few people that have like MoronArtist, why? Thank you for being one of only a few that have noticed me here on YouTube, and that's quite fine. I'm quite content with the small amount of attention that I'm getting. Like I said, this is very new for me. Blogging and talking about basically whatever I want online is kind of a new venture for me. So I thought I'd explain why I chose MoronArtist. The easiest part of this is artist. Well, actually, it's not really that easy. I do a lot of artwork. I don't really share a lot of it because the fear of rejection kind of thing. I have in the past. I've done a lot of shows. I've done local stuff, and I've done like the artist markets, and I actually displayed at a gallery in St. Petersburg. And so, I mean, there is that side to me. I am an art student over at USF in Tampa, in the Tampa campus. So, the artist part is just duh. He's an artist, duh. But it kind of couples with moron aspect of it. Now, is like I'm trying to think of how to sum up the whole long story of why, right? Okay, I'm the youngest of three children. I'm the baby. My brother is 10 years older than me. I'm sorry, my sister's 10 years older than me, and my brother is 7 years older than me. So, like I tell people, I was the oops baby. Like my parents thought, like, well, we're done having kids. Oops, I guess not. Huh? Here we go again. So being the baby of the family, I learned self-deprecating humor as like a self-defense mechanism, right? So I would sit there and like they would make jokes. Like I didn't take them as jokes. For the longest time growing up, like I had no sense of humor because, well, somebody make a joke and I'd take it way seriously. And it's kind of like I was going for like unbeknownst, like I didn't think it through at the time. I wasn't thinking that, okay, this is what's happening, but subconsciously it was that whole deal of like, oh, well, there's a kernel of truth behind every joke. So if you made a joke about me, I would take it personally. And, I started realizing like, I got to make fun of myself before other people can do it. Because if I do it to myself before others get to there, then I kind of rob them of a little victory. Like I'm that kind of spiteful person. Like, aha! I already told myself I was an idiot. You're not telling me anything new. Like you're really weird. Like I knew I was weird. I was saying that all the time. Like you can't tell me I'm weird. I already told myself I'm weird. You're just Johnny come lately. Oh, you're weird. Yeah, I have no argument there, right? So, it just became self-defense mechanism. And after a while, once I developed a sense of humor and realized like, okay, you can't take all jokes personally. The self-deprecation kind of took on a different role. Like growing up and becoming a young adult, I started, like having confidence in myself. And in my younger years, I dealt with depression, and I dealt with depression, and well, through most of my life. I mean, depression is one of those things that just doesn't. It doesn't just disappear. I'm at an age now where I know me well enough. Like I know, like, oh, shoot, like I'm starting to think this way. I'm being overly negative about things. It's kind of like these warning signs that if you don't keep a check on this, you're gonna slide into some kind of depression, and you're gonna full slide back into depression, and you're just gonna be useless to yourself and everybody else. So I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh yeah. So dealing with depression, like one of the things that you have to do, like I will say, I will say for me, like my depression when I was dealing with it at a younger age was really, I don't want to say mild, but I know people, I've met people that depression is their lifestyle. Like for me, it was an illness, and it was just something I had to deal with. Something that we tried medications, blah blah blah. I just had to change my mindset. Was my big thing. Now the problem with me is I tend to overdo things sometimes. So for me, it was like this self-deprecation thing got out of hand, right? Where like I didn't see value in myself. Like I hated life. I hated people. I was just a cranky son of a bitch all the time. And like in a weird way, I was everybody's clown is how I viewed myself. And in fact, so much so that I actually, the only tattoo I have, which I suppose I should show, um, is actually a jester. Okay, so that kind of tells you, hey, Mr. Jester, how's it going? Sorry, that's the hell is wrong with me? That's our little thing. Like, hey, so I just lost anybody caring about anything I have to say from here on out. Yeah, I was everybody's clown because I had developed a sense of humor. I was entertaining. In fact, people have told me that like sometimes when I have these little episodes where I get really angry and stuff, it's entertaining. It's entertaining, and that's actually kind of a family thing. Like when we get injured or when we get really, yeah, when we get injured either physically or mentally or something like that, there comes this moment of like comedy gold. Like I remember when my brother split his thumb open with a knife, like he slipped and cut his thumb open. It was hilarious. And he was making jokes about it. I mean, he was in an intense amount of pain, but he was making jokes about it. So that's kind of the thing is like I was in a lot of pain from my depression. My compensation for that was being self-deprecating and really sort of hamming it up for other people's approval. Like, yeah. Anyways, so that carried on for the longest time. And then, like I said, when I moved out on my own, I started continuing that. There's a lot of other nonsense that I don't feel like talking about right now. Maybe in a future video. But a lot of that carried on. That same attitude carried on to a point where I realized, like, I have to keep doing this. I don't have to keep being this person. I hated the medication. So I ditched that. Started self-medicating. That's a whole nother conversation That's a whole nother blog post right there. And then, I got the tattoo. I said, like, I'm a clown, but I get to choose when I be a clown. And that's kind of a pivotal thing. It's like, I don't mind being self-deprecating. I don't mind self-deprecation based humor. I don't mind making people laugh. I love making people laugh. I love entertaining, and I love being around people. But I kind of want to be in control of that, right? Like I don't want to be forced to be somebody's source of entertainment, and I don't want to be forced to have that come at a cost to me. So, it just came to this moment where I decided, like, I have to get control of this. I have to be who I want to be. It wasn't really, I make it sound like it was an instantaneous change. Like I just changed overnight as a person. Like it wasn't. It was just this ongoing thing where I was just miserable all the time. I didn't show that to people. I didn't let people know exactly how miserable I was. I self-medicated, and yeah, I just kind of like, get through the day, entertain some people, make them laugh. And then at the end of the day, then I just take care of myself. I like retreat and block people out and self-medicate. Now, there's a bunch of other things. Like I said, there's just almost too much to unpack about this. But, there's some other things that came along with my mindset that changed the way I thought about this. One of the things that ended up happening when I started making this change of like, I'm in control of this. Like, if I'm going to be a clown, I want to choose who I'm a clown for, when I'm a clown. If I'm going to use self-deprecating humor, I want to choose, when and why. And it's like one of those things like I want to be in control of it, because there are times where I want people to listen to me and respect me, and not just go, oh, well, there's that joke of an idiot. So at this point, you're kind of going like, so MoronArtist is a bad thing. It's like a hail back to that. Okay, now I have to explain. Um, in that era where I was like, oh, I gotta get control of this, right? I gotta think better of myself. I gotta be so much better than what depression was telling me and what self-medication was telling me. And I became an egomaniac. It was unbearable. I'm almost in physical pain thinking about some of the crap that I said and did. Like I became a jerk overnight. That was the one that, like, when I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be, yeah, I'm an artist, and super, I'm gonna be super respected and blah blah blah," and I don't even know what the whole deal was, but I wanted a little prestige for myself, or a little self-respect, or I didn't want a little, I wanted all. And at that time also I'd started doing art shows, and there's a place in Ybor City. I started doing Square One, and was the organization, not the location, but it was the Ritz in Ybor, not the Ritz Hotel. Ritz, it was a nightclub, and it was really nice. They were going through renovations. In fact, they did a bunch of stuff. The place used to be Masquerade before that, and part of their whole change up was that they were doing art shows where you could go, like the artist could go set up display and sell, hopefully. And also at the same time, if you were walking about if Ybor is kind of like Tampa's Bourbon Street, kind of, if you think of it that way, like you're partying, you're walking up and down the street, you can go in and check out some art, get a couple drinks, da 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 da. And it was a huge venue, and these shows were immensely successful. And I started displaying artwork there. And at the time, I was doing mainly abstracts, and those abstracts just caught so much attention. I was doing these sets of like They were 10 by 10 canvases, right? So smaller guys. And what I would do is I would add a layer of like flake white. Yeah, it's flake white. I would add like a layer of flake white. And I mean a layer of flake white. I would use a palette knife and it was like I was icing a cake, right? So it's this nice dense layer of flake white oil paint. And I would then take the palette knife, clean it off, and drag a color through this. And so what you would have is like a bark-like texture because I'm not using full long strokes and I'm not digging deep. I'm just kind of like digging enough to lay down some color, pick up some new color, kind of drag it through. And I would pick like 2-3 colors. And the ones that were more successful is where I picked this palette of colors that were more natural. I remember using a lot of yellow ochre. I was in love with yellow ochre at the time, which is kind of how to describe it to somebody who does not know what yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is kind of like it's like a mustard brown kind of thing, like baby puke yellow. But something for that color combination with that, and like I'd use like umbers and like a darker brown, and so there's a lot of brown with this white, making this bark-like texture. And those things sold. Those things I could reliably sell those. And so I started, getting like a mild amount of success, right? A mild amount of success. I would do these shows. I would sell abstract art just insanely. And my ego just went off the fucking charts. Like I just became intolerable almost to myself. And so what we have is like this transformation from being this self-deprecating, self-loathing person to just this flamboyant, egotistical asshole. So you make that transformation, and I just annoyed the crap out of everybody. I just annoyed people to no end, to this point where there's some people who won't talk to me. I fully respect that. Like I got it. That was a consequence of me being me. They don't want anything to do with me. Okay, you don't want anything to do with me. So what ended up happening, I just heard the mail. It's Saturday. The mail's here. So what ended up happening is, I became intolerable, just insufferable, and that carried on for so long. And it finally came to a head where I had to address my self-medication. It had become an immense problem in my life. It's like it's one of those things that I don't necessarily want to go deep into, at least not at this point, but it had become a massive problem in my life, to the point where that was worse than anything else happening in my life. And I had to reevaluate. And, part of that reevaluation is I realized like I'm pushing people away by so many different means, and my egotistical nature is terrible. Like, so where do I find, like, a big theme of my life is finding some kind of balance, right? So it's like, okay, I can't be this guy who just hates himself all the time. And I can't be this guy who just thinks he's God's gift to humanity, right? I can't, those are two extremes that I seem to be on one end or the other. I got to find like that middle space, right? Middle space. I got to find a little bit of balance here. Like I have to be able to think of myself positively, but not so positively that I just think I'm better than everybody else. And I gotta like ground myself with some kind of sense of humility, but not go into self-loathing. And so, when I use self-deprecation now, it's that sense of like, I I want to take myself seriously. I want to be at least somewhat respected for who I am. Like, you don't have to like when you say I want to be respected, people think, oh, you want to run for government, you want to be some kind of state official, and no. Like when you say respected, people kind of take it to that nth degree. I mean, I just want to get through my day and have people not treat me like garbage. I think that's kind of universal for I mean, I know that's universal. Nobody wants to go through the day being treated like trash all the time. I understand I'm going to run into some negativity here or there. But it's one of those things where you just yeah, I don't know how best to describe it. So it's like I use a title like Moron Artist. Like when I came up with MoronArtist, I had started replaying or reintroducing myself to Magic the Gathering, which is what most of my posts have been about lately. And it's one of those things where there's a weird community out there where you're a noob. Hey, you're a noob. Like, fine. I'm just getting back into Magic the Gathering. That's fine. I don't want to encounter too much like nowadays when somebody throws crap in my face like you're a noob, it's just like, okay, you're gonna have to deal with that attitude. That's not mine to fix. You have a great day. You have a great day. I'm walking away. That attitude of yours is not fixed. I'm having trouble enough to fix my own attitude. You go ahead and you work on yours. Like it's just not worth it, guys. If when you meet somebody who you can clearly identify an attitude problem of, don't try and fix it. Do not try and fix it. There is no point in doing that, especially with personality traits and whatnot. If somebody's got some kind of attitude for whatever reason, you might not understand the complete backstory behind it. It's not yours to fix. You just let it go. Okay. You can think of it, if you want to think of it, as being the bigger person. That helps a lot of times. You get to package, oh, I'm a better person. I'm just letting that go. If that's what it takes, it's just like, oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. Like, go ahead and do it. If that's what gets you to just let it go, let it go. So anyways, but the biggest thing is I chose MoronArtist because I wanted to make videos about my experiences with Magic the Gathering. And I also wanted to make some content where I would crack some packs, because that's like my favorite type of video. Is like, man, just open the packs. And like, who doesn't like that? I want to share that moment. I've never had anyone any one of these videos become like insane where I open something, I'm like, oh, had a couple cool moments, but and so I want to talk about these things from the experience point of somebody who is just getting back into the game. So I was kind of hoping like MoronArtist would like leading into it would deflate my ego right from the get-go. Like, I'm not talking about this subject as in I'm an expert. I'm not making this video saying like, this is what I'm doing, you should be doing it too, because I know what I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't think that makes any of my content invalid. As long as people understand I'm making this from the point of like, I'm not an expert. I'm not the world's greatest. I'm not even close. I understand there's people that, and there's a point of that too, where, hopefully I'm going to get back into doing some more artwork related videos, and who knows, like this is kind of an anything goes channel for me, and just do whatever I want. Here I'm testing out live streaming, sharing about my life. Oh, I hope you like me. Mm. And you double hand the coffee. Mm. Coffee. Anyways, so that's really kind of it. Is like if I give myself the title of moron artist, yes, it's self-deprecating. Do I really think I'm a moron? No. I actually have a really decent opinion of myself. Much more realistic nowadays. It's kind of one of those things where you gotta like if you go through enough experiences in life, and you survive, you tend to start going like, "Oh, this is a shit show. Life is a shit show. Oh, okay. Like this is bullcrap. Oh, okay, I get it now. So it's kind of like that. You have enough experiences in life, and then you kind of just go, yeah, I just got to get what I can get and try my best and march on from there. I guess I don't know. So that's pretty much it. Is just like I want to use the title moron artist as a way to deflate my ego before anyone even encounters me here on YouTube. It's like moron artist. This guy's calling himself a moron. And I'm sure somewhere down the road, if I do garner some more attention, somebody's gonna throw that in my face, like, well, you are a moron. Like, fine. I don't fine. I'll tell you one thing though. What will sort of redirect any of that's like have kids. Okay, when you have kids, like there's a certain part of me that just I have two children. I have a son and a daughter, and they're exactly the kids that I always wanted. So it's one of those things where uh, having kids will redirect a lot of that. Like somebody comes at me with some like I'm a 37-year-old college student. I'm amongst 20-year-olds who have this clear divine defined vision of the entirety of the world. Like I know what life is. I know everything about everything. And I just sit there and go like, "Oh, you just started this journey. Oh, you're going to go through so many tough realizations. Like I can't do anything to prepare you for this. I want to help. I want to just take a pin and pop that little bubble. Um, so there's times where I've encountered attitude, especially being, no, I'm not even gonna. I don't even want to get into that. But it's just like, like I'll say something in class and I'll get attitude right away because, clearly I'm wrong. Clearly I'm wrong. You don't even know. You don't even know. Like, you're not aware of what's going on. Like that's my favorite. Is like I don't know if you're aware of what's going on right now. Like that's the one that gets to me. Like I gotta laugh at it. Otherwise, I will just go complete rage monster. Just like, I don't know if you're aware of what's going on right now. Like, oh, that's a great way to start a debate by assuming the person you're talking to is completely stupid. Like that's the one that kind of like I said, I have to laugh about it. Otherwise I would just be seething with rage. Like, I don't know if you're aware of what's going on right now. Oh, like I don't care what your opinion is anymore. I don't care what you know. I must destroy you. So, but like having kids is one of these things. Like, I have two kids that have attitude. And so, like, when I get these things happening to me at college, where it's like, somebody throws something in my face or whatever, they may be right, they may be wrong, whatever. It's just coming with that extra amount of attitude. I just kind of go like, I don't have time for this. Like, I'm raising two kids. I don't need to raise more. Um, that I don't say that loud. I don't want to be that much of a dick. Um, I mean, I kind of am, but I don't want to. I don't want to instigate anything. I don't want to start something that I just don't want to finish. So it's just like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm gonna go home, potty train my 4-year-old, and think about what you said. So it seems like the setting for really digesting the stuff that you just threw in my face. Yeah, that'll be great. Watch my son sitting on a potty trying to take a shit and thinking about all these things that you've thrown at me. So, anyways, there it is like Moron Artist. It's a self-given title. I try not to take myself too seriously. It's like a combination of moron and artist. Like, you can think of artist as the respected statement in there. Somebody like, somebody who has a craft or a skill, and then moron, moron. So you jam those two together. I'm trying to find like that little, come together, find the middle ground. Um, you know, I have some skills, I have some talents of my own, I have some knowledge of my own, but at the same time, I'm just like everybody else. It's just trying to find my way, trying to keep my chin up. Uh, you know, Trying to keep my chin up. How did I put it? One time is like keeping your chin up while staying humble at the same time is like the most. You're gonna break your neck doing that. Like, yes, I tried, but at the same time, like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, oh yeah, I gave it my best. Oh, I kind of suck. So I guess my thing is like I overcome my own natural state of depression by just like fully embracing bipolar. I guess like a simultaneous coexistence of both like egotistical nature and depression at the same time. Like these two powers combine to create a whole human. Like an actualized person can exist here. So I don't know if there's anything else I can add to that. Would love to hear some comments on it. Like I know this experience that I've described is not unique to me in any way, shape, or form. My story is the experiences themselves are not necessarily unique across humanity. There's been a lot of humans on this planet for a long time, so I'm sure somebody's gone through something like I've gone through, and probably way worse. So that's just me in a nutshell. Moron artist. I hope to keep creating more YouTube content, and hopefully they get more entertaining. And do you like the background? I was debating on like, should I block the background now? Like that's one of the things that I'm debating right now. It's like, how much moron do I want to be, or how much artist? Like, do I want to like put a professional background up and try and be somewhat artistic about a live stream where I'm going to talk about being a moron artist? Like, no, I opted for moron. Like, you can clearly see back here, like our cleaning implements that are leaned up, which I do need to like mop the floor. And there's my fridge back there with the plethora of things. I don't even know what's all on the fridge anymore. Like at some point, we're not going to be able to see fridge. Period. Like it's just gonna get completely coated and like, where's the fridge? Oh, behind this layer of magnets and pictures. Just there's our. I gotta hate the fact that the images flop, so I gotta sit here and like, this is my left hand. That right there, a little calendar, family schedule thing. So I opted for the moron aspect out of this for this video, as opposed to the artist. Maybe for the next time I go live, if this is something I'm going to keep on doing, maybe I'll go for the artsy side of it. I can do it, Maybe I'll make a nice little background. Maybe I'll get some actual lighting. Right now, I'm just using natural light. Anyways, I'm rambling now. I fully explained why I use moron artist. Like, don't worry about me being self-deprecating. I understand that I'm self-deprecating. I get it. Don't worry. I got this under. I got this. I got this. It's okay. I got this. Okay. I appreciate the concern. Why are you calling yourself a moron, man? That's really negative. Like, I don't want to take my health too seriously. A little bit seriously. I want to be considered somewhat seriously, but at the same time, not so seriously that I become a raging egomaniac. I don't want that. That's the whole. That's the simple bullet point explanation of me being a moron artist is like I want to be taken this much seriously, this much not seriously. Put it together. It's okay. It's fine. If I can walk if I can walk the fence on this, it's fine. I'm happy. I'm content right there. I'm gonna stop before I ramble on and maybe like explain why am I wearing a black shirt? That'll be the next thing I'm ranting about. Why do you drink so much coffee? Because it's good. That's why. That'll be my next live stream is like why I drink coffee nonstop. Because I like peeing. Anyways, y'all have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. At this point, maybe I'll go into a small amount of like professionalism, if that's how I can describe it. At this point of the YouTube channel, like I don't plan on, some people have like the Patreon and stuff like that. I don't plan on doing that. This is, those people put out a video on average, like 2 to 4 videos a week. I do maybe 2 to 4 videos a month, if that. So, I'm not planning on asking for money anytime soon. And I don't think we're there yet. I think I have 1 subscriber. I have 1. Thank you to that 1 subscriber. Thank you very much. I have 1 subscriber, and that's fine. That's fine by me. I'm completely content at the level I'm at right now. I'm just kind of putting content out there, seeing what works. And that's the bigger thing if I want people to take about the channel from this video is that I'm just trying stuff, see what works, see what I want to do with it. Sometimes I even upload things on here that are straight up experimental. I have 1 video on here that's just completely bonkers where I tried making a Dada type YouTube video. If you're aware of what Dadaism is, it's basically art that you don't think about. You just make. You just do. It's like automatic art is the easy explanation of it. There's a whole bunch of complicated nonsense we could go into about Dadaism, but we're not gonna. Because I said I was going to end this video, but I didn't. I keep talking like I'm addicted to this. That's the problem with this is like I have it right here. I can just click and I'm live. No, but wrapping up, it's like if you are at all fascinated with this and want to see where this freak train goes, right now the way you can support this channel is just, comment, like, and if you're so inclined, subscribe. Oh, we're not there yet, but commenting right now at least gives me some interaction to work with and figure out like what I can do, what I want to do. And if you did like the video, then like it for God's sakes. Don't be like, oh, I liked it, but I don't want to be that guy. Like, be that guy. Like the damn video. And maybe someday this will get polished enough that I'll start a Patreon for it or something of that nature. I don't know. Anyways, y'all have a great day. I'm finally gonna end this right here, right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna ramble on forever. All right, y'all have a great day. This is Daniel Luther Hart, self-proclaimed moron artist, signing off here. Go get a cup of coffee.